There's a whole lot of women's refuge throughout the country, but the general idea was these are for the European women. Those are not for us. For us, leaving home is not an option. I did a little bit survey to find out. Spoke to 50 women, and out of 50, 48 women said they need a support group. And some of these women that we talked to, they wanted to be a volunteer. They said if we set up something, they're happy to be volunteer. And that's how the first 7 women came on board and we started Shakti.
The bright and bubbly young bride from India had been reduced to a broken shell of her former self in just a few months.
My story, I guess I would call myself a survivor now. My journey with Shakti started 5 years ago, back in 2010, when they came to see me first time at the hospital. And that was the beginning of the journey, which is here now. I would call it a journey of hope as well. So from what I was 5 years ago to what I am now, and that is what I'm trying to convey to the women and the ladies who come to see me, that, you know, the hope is there, and they can be survivors as well. They just need to ask for help, that's all.
In this story, you won't hear this young woman's voice. She has injuries so severe, she's been unable to talk for almost a year. Instead, she communicates by writing on a child's Etch-a-Sketch. We can't identify her for reasons which will become all too apparent, so we'll call her Simran. She fears for her life and is being cared for by a migrant women's support group in a secret refuge, hidden away from the man she says attacked and maimed her.
I didn't know anyone, didn't know how to speak English. This sort of isolation was horrible. It makes my husband turn to gambling, and it caused so many problems. I tried to hide my suffering from my children because my husband still continuously abusing me and hit me. And then one day, he just hit me a lot, so I was in hospital. So I got a lot of bruise in my body, and mentally I was so weak and very weak. And even I couldn't tell to my friends and anybody, I couldn't tell. That's why it was really, really difficult. And then one day the hospital staff, they just recommended Shakti.
How scared were you of him?
On a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being extremely scared, 100. Very, very, very scared.
A 16-year-old tried to protect her younger sisters.
I remember my older sister actually stopped him from hitting one of the other sisters, and he started hitting her.
He dragged my sister with hair, you know, he just pulled her hair and dragged her from one room to the other, and I was sitting in that room. And he was hitting her, I mean, he was suffocating her on the beanbag, so I just stood up and I said, "Stop, Ron, stop now." And then he just hit me, he returned and he hit me.
She's incredibly strong, and she matured beyond her age. I think, in a way, her childhood is stolen. She had to be mother for 3 other siblings.
The people who married you in the ceremony, did they know that you were 14?
Yes.
So in New Zealand it's not legal to get married when you're 14?
Yes, but they still did it. They did it in their religion. 14 years old is the normal age.
Surely you could have said no.
I could, but I was only 14. I had nowhere to go. How far can you get when you're only 14 and you're pregnant?
How many other girls are raped before they get married?
With heaps.